Hello, welcome to the live stream. I'll let all you lovely people give you an opportunity to join the chat and say hello. Today it is snowing outside, and it has me very happy, as you can tell. But yeah, we'll cover some stories here in a bit and brighten up the cold day it is here in the lovely city of Pittsburgh. Also, before I guess we get started, I should probably not have top chat on. So be sure to check and change it over to live chat. That way you get everything, spam and all. Even though most of the time it's not spam. Whatever filter they use for this thing is ridiculous. But hello, welcome. Hopefully you all get notifications that we're going live here, and we're going to hang out and have a doozy. Oh, I guess I should tweet this out too, huh? I should probably put that on Twitter just because, you know, YouTube and all of its shenanigans. So give me 1 second, and I'm going to post this onto the Twitters, the lovely Twitter site. Let's see. Pay no attention to the Twitter. Here we go. How should we word this? I'm live. Watch now. There. I'm live. Watch now. Yay. Wow, I cannot type. My microphone's always in the way when I'm typing live. Okay, there we go. Messages out. Darker Elite is the first chat. What up, Darker Elite? So I got a few stories. I got a few subjects to talk about today. Stuff that piqued my interest or stuff that people sent. Who retweeted me? Lore Master has retweeted me. You know what? Actually, I'm going to talk about that first. I didn't plan to talk about that, but I'm going to talk about it real quick because there's an interesting twist to that. So if you do not know, and I don't think a lot of you are Star Trek people, at least as hardcore as I am, but this story still has a little bit of relevance to you. So here is Lore Master, also Lore Reloaded. You can find him on the YouTubes. He does a Star Trek lore show, and he recently had his channel taken down for like spam or something. I wonder if I can find the post. Excuse me while we look for it. But basically what happened was he got like a bullshit claim against his channel by the automated system, and it took away everything that he's worked on. So everything gone, and he appealed it. And the automated system said, nope, no appeal. I'm trying to find out where it says his... He had a picture of it. But I thought it was really messed up that his channel got just taken down like that. And it still goes to show you, YouTube ain't fixing their shit. Now, happily, I think he's about to get his channel back. So I did tweet this out. So those of you who helped out, if you're watching this, thank you. Because I do like Lore's channel. I'm a fan. So to see that go away, I was not happy. Yo, do you watch The Walking Dead? I do not watch The Walking Dead. I've never been into zombies terribly much. And I don't want to say I'm not a fan of darker shows, but I feel like I don't watch Walking Dead because it's kind of a dark looking show. It just doesn't have any... I like more optimistic shows, and if I'm going to watch a darker show, I just feel like it has to be an interesting plot or whatnot. Because I love Jessica Jones, and that's a dark show, and I think I just got into that because I loved David Tennant as the villain, so I could kind of look past the darkness of the show. It's probably why I did not like Star Trek Discovery. But any case, Lore here, I'm hoping for the best for you because I want your channel back. And surprisingly... This is the part I wanted to share. Apparently, YouTube Heroes, or whatever they call it now, I don't know if they went through a name change, but he's claimed that YouTube Heroes has actually been a huge help in getting his channel back, which a lot of us thought YouTube Heroes was garbage and it was going to just be like censorship and all this crap. But if they actually help Lore get his channel back, I will say they have actually accomplished something very nice because I want that channel back, especially... If he truly didn't break any rules, which I have I've watched enough of his videos to know the claim is probably bullshit, and YouTube's automated system's garbage. I'm hoping he gets it back. So I think he'll find out today, he said, but because now he's getting a manual review. But it just goes to show, I think the major problem with YouTube, let's not check my Twitter while we're streaming. That's not exciting. I think the problem with YouTube is they're basically leaving it to a terrible computer to fire their employees when it should be done manually. It's just kind of ridiculous at this point because, especially for people who make it their livelihood, I just find something inherently wrong with a system that does it that way. And it's definitely not encouraging people to come to the platform. I think that's what's stifling the growth on YouTube is that it's just not a system that somebody goes, yeah, I definitely want to get involved in that. Let's see. The Walking Dead is one of the worst shows on television. The first season was amazing, but after... So here's what I say about The Walking... I heard somebody explain it to me, why they stopped kind of watching The Walking Dead. It's when they realized, like, The Walking Dead doesn't have a happy ending. Like, the author, I guess, went on record saying it's literally a show where everybody's going to have a sad ending. Everybody's going to die at some point. There's no, yeah, we're going to cure the zombie plague. It's just a survival show. So at that point, you're just like, why do I care to watch? I already kind of know what's going to happen. I hear the characters are good. But again, I'm not into, okay, I shouldn't say dark shows. I'm not into dark, violent shows. And that Walking Dead definitely pushes the boundary. I think the first clip I saw of it was with the dude with the bat beating some guy's head in, and I was just like, yeah, no, I don't care to watch that in my free time. So I don't watch Walking Dead. What I've been watching recently, I did check out Series of Unfortunate Events because I was like, I didn't read a lot as a kid, but that was one of the books I read as a kid. So I've been enjoying that show a lot. The thing I like about that is it's different. I like that it is... does Lore have a backup channel? Always wise to have one or two backup channels. I don't think he did. I don't think he expected that to happen. But he's definitely been looking now into other platforms and sources of revenue. So I think that was kind of a wake-up call to him. So he started doing Twitch. I think he even looked into Vimeo just in case he didn't get it back onto YouTube. So I think a little bit of that was a wake-up call to him. But yeah, I'm watching a Series of Unfortunate Events, and I like it just because it's so different from other shows. I like it when shows take risks because this one especially, I love that they break the fourth wall throughout the show all the time. It's just funny. It feels like it's a show you wouldn't see on TV. It feels like a show that definitely fits the streaming platform because they're more willing to do something that's a little more out there. Netflix seems to do that with their series a lot, so it's definitely one I've been watching through. So I'm excited to keep up with that and catch the rest. But yeah, if you guys are just getting here, be sure to share out the stream so people can get it. Because, you know, YouTube shenanigans, since we're talking about them, they don't like to share my streams out all the time. And apparently unsubscribe. I've been told by several people who are frequent in the chat, they have noticed they were unsubscribed. So I'm like, oh, great. I'm getting hit with that now, too. Nicholas Reynolds, what is up? So yeah, if you guys are into Star Trek at all, go check out Lore's channel. It's pretty good. All right, so let's talk about some shit. I guess we'll cover some of these stories up at the top here I've got going. So this one was sent to me, and let's see. So I guess this is breaking news here. When did this happen? Was this today? Yeah, this is today. So I guess this guy shot his mom and his friend at their house. It seems like they were drunk or something. At least his mom was drunk. From what I get, he just decided to shoot him. He stole a gun, shot him in the house. He failed at shooting his mom. I guess the gun jammed, and then he fixed it and out of the room and then went back in, and his mom was too drunk to know what was going on. And so he's on the run currently, but he's posted about it on Facebook, and it's some very strange posts. I don't know how much more this happens so many times. It's just like, I know he like left a part that kind of stood out to me was he left a message on Facebook kind of like saying sorry to his brother for doing it, and that people who send thoughts and prayers should just shut the fuck up and actually like do something to make him feel better, which is weird because it's like I get, like, yeah, I always hate the thoughts and prayers things too, but it's weird to hear it from the person who killed the people. I don't know. That was the weird part to me, but otherwise, this guy is currently on the loose and wanted. So I think this is in Tennessee area, or at least that's where they think he was going. Yeah, it happened in Mississippi, and they think he's been driving up to Tennessee or something. So if you're there, be careful. I can see your point, Darker Elite Ninja, but it was one of my teachers that did blah, blah, blah. I only have 3 days. I don't know what's going on there. What? Okay. They unsubscribed me from TJ for at least 2 months, and I didn't notice it until a couple weeks ago. I've only had it happen to me once, and I think that was with the Ben Pie channel. And I saw it happen too. My like YouTube page freezed. Nothing was loading, so I refreshed. And when I refreshed, I saw I was unsubscribed, and I was like, what? And so I clicked the subscribe button again. And then I think it unsubscribed me when I did that, because every time I refreshed, then I was unsubscribed. So I don't know if that was like a graphical glitch where when I refreshed the page, it just didn't update the graphic. So when I actually clicked the button, it was in the system as unsubscribed then, because it should have actually just said I was subscribed. I don't know. It was weird. Did he catch them having sex? I don't even know. It doesn't even say that. All it says is, like, I guess his friend was sleeping on the floor. And so he shot him there, and then his mom was upstairs. I don't know. It's weird. It's just kind of an odd story. But I mean, if somebody shoots their parent and their friend, that's just weird. So I got sent that. I thought I'd cover it, but yep, just another wonderful shooting here in the good old USA. And while we're ranting about the state of our country, let's talk about this. This caught my eye during the week on a few YouTube channels, so I thought I'd chime in with it. So those of us who were very much pro-Bernie or left during the 2016 election definitely did not like Debbie Wasserman Schultz. If you don't remember, she was the lovely lady who got caught rigging the whole thing. There was a lot of sketchy stuff going on. There's like too much to even go into it. But so apparently this guy, Tim Canova, who was a Democrat, ran against her in 2016, lost, and then I guess they wanted a voter recount, and they didn't get it because the Wasserman Schultz campaign decided before they were allowed to destroy all the ballots. Because I guess you have to wait a couple months in case this situation arises where somebody wants a recount. But her campaign got it that before that deadline passed, they got rid of all the records and all the ballots and shit. So there wasn't a way to do a recount. And so I guess this has been in court to try to get some punishment for that being done. But the Democrats have been silent on it. And they've actively tried to, I guess, screw Tim Canova out of his campaign. So I guess he finally decided he had enough and left, which I think a lot of people kind of feel the same way. I think I was kind of an independent when I got registered to vote. I didn't register for a party. I only switched because I liked Sanders to Democrat, because in my state you have to be registered as a Democrat to vote in the Democratic primaries. And so... But at this point, I'm like, I'm independent. I'm not a Democrat. And so it's just, I hear, because I watched an interview with this guy. He basically said once he left the Democratic Party, his support went up. People were more willing to donate to his campaign, which makes sense because after how the Democrats screwed the primaries in the general election, that's not the right phrasing. How they screwed Bernie out of the primary, a lot of people who donated just felt ripped off. So why would they ever donate again? So I think once you lose the D on your name, people might be a little more open to it, as this guy's finding out now. But I definitely want Wasserman Schultz out of there. She should not be in office. And the only way she's going to get to keep it, in my opinion, is if she cheats. So, and I'm not surprised to find out she's under suspicion of cheating in the past. But I thought it was interesting. Somebody else now finally said, nope, I'm done with this shit, and went independent. Because I really do feel If there's any time to take out the Democratic Party and to start a new one, now's the time. They're weak. I know people are like, no, we gotta resist the Republicans. It's like, yeah, but why would we want to prop up a shitty political party? Like, especially if we want a better one in place. This is the best time if you're a strategic person to take out a weak party, is to go after it now with everything you got. And I think some people are starting to do that. What up, Mr. Spectacular Glasses? Fuck the DNC, I agree. They kind of suck. Have you seen the Steve Shives video? I do not watch any Steve Shives, so before I even finish that statement, I don't bother to watch that guy. I think I watched him before I knew all the background behind him, and I thought he was boring to begin with, and then I found out, oh, this guy's crazy. But let me finish your statement. Have you seen the Steve Shives video where he denies things was rigged? He is a huge Hillary apologist. Yeah, that's the thing. And it's funny because the Hillary apologists will constantly claim that Russia rigged the election. And it's like, you do realize it's probably a lot harder for a foreign power to rig an election than it is for a power here. So that's the part I always call bullshit on. And I hate that the Democrats act like it's okay for them to rig something, but if a foreign power gets involved, holy shit, which both I find are equally bad if you want to have a democracy. Let's see. Rather than siding with the lesser of two evils, resist both evils. Yeah, that's kind of where people are at this point. My philosophy has been they're both the Republican Party. The Democrats just are a little better on social issues to a point. I have no strong stance on the DACA thing. I don't really care, and it has no effect on my life, so I haven't really given a shit about it. I might sound harsh, but I mean, I compared to all the other problems this country faces, that's not at the top of my list. But I thought it was hilarious that the Democrats were so adamant about protecting it, and then when they were given the shot, they caved for literally nothing. I think when that government got shut down for 3 days, they showed they had no plan, and then they caved and were just like, okay, never mind. We'll reopen your government for the opportunity in the future to get what we want. Not get what we want or even halfway or a compromise. It was just maybe for the opportunity to get something. It's just kind of a failed. When are we doing the Civ 5 game? I gotta do a message for that. I gotta also get names for that on who wants to get involved in that. It's gonna be a Saturday. I guess I should probably start setting that up. So I'll do a tweet for that here after the stream or something. Start messaging people, because right now I think I got me. It looks like Spectacular Glasses. You want to be in on that? Pagan wants in. If I ask my brother, he'll totally join because he loves Civ 5. I can probably get my girlfriend, so that would be 5. We're trying to get 8, so 3 more. If we get 3 more, that'd be awesome. You don't have a Twitter? Oh, damn it. Make a Twitter and just use it for DM or something. Or if you have do you have a Discord? Because if you have a Discord, that'll make it easy to reach out to you. If I had a PC, I'd hop in. I only have a PC. All right. I'll hit me up on the Discord or something. Or I'll find you in the Discord. You can just shoot me a private message that says hi, so I just see you. And then I'll send you a message with some details once we got some stuff figured out. Dylan says, I downloaded the DP game. I explored the town more and found weed and other funny stuff. Yeah, I saw Skeptical Jesus sent me some more advice. I think I'm going to just restart the game real quick when I go to play the third part. I'm going to play up to where I left off just so people don't have to watch the same crap. And then I'll pick up from there with all my stuff now figured out, since I now know a little more how to play. Before we go on more, I just want to say thank you, Fraxcall, for your $5 patronage. And also, I'll shout out to Skeptical Jesus. I saw in my email today he became a $5 patron. So we got another name. I'll have to put it up here. I'll probably do it before because I don't think I've gotten billed for it yet, but I trust Skeptical Jesus. So he's a cool guy. I've seen him around. He used to be really involved with the Ryby community, which that means you know he's a good person, unless you hated Ryby. In that case, you were a sexist. But yeah, so I'll get your name up here. I gotta do that on my Mac because Photoshop does not work on here because it's stupid. I'm gonna be changing up my Patreon goals. Maybe we'll talk about that. You guys can help me. If you guys have an idea for some Patreon perks you'd want, if you are interested in becoming a patron at a value, and you could, if you want to tell me what, hey, if you did this, I'd probably become a patron. I'll definitely take that into consideration when making the goals. I think you can use an Xbox 360 controllers on it. Yeah, you can. I've seen people do it. I have no idea how to do it because I don't like the Xbox, but you can do it. Oh, by the way, I do have Streamlabs now. So if you can't become a patron, if you want to do a one-time thing, you can do a Streamlabs. The link is in the description. You can shoot me a message, and you can see me flip a desk. So if you want to see a desk flip, there you go. So, yeah, I'm at this point, I'm kind of more of the opinion that it's time to just do away with the Democrats. I mean, we've seen it. The Republicans and the Democrats have not been around since the founding of the country. They came out of other political parties that have shifted during time. So I, at this point, think this is just another one of those examples where a party is kind of getting outdated. So it's just time for something new to come around. But yeah, I hope Tim Canova can beat Wasserman Schultz. Literally anybody, even if it was a Republican, at this point I'd probably be fine with it. As long as Schultz is out of office, I really could care less because I just do not like them. For Fox's sake. Oh, wah, ha, ha, ha. I like your name. Makes me think of a furry at first, but then I get it's a joke. Because, get it? For Fox's sake. Ha. I get it. I like those type of jokes. Just because I can make fun of it and people will be like, oh my God, he actually said that and thought it was funny. Democratic Party is the party of slavery. I agree, Tim Allen. Unless you're an anarchist. That's like the one party that's not for slavery. They just want absolute chaos. I never got anarchists. I used to be more socialist than I am now. But I never got anarchy. Anarchy is just like, are you dumb? Bring back the Whig Party. Yeah, that's the one I always think of when it's like, hey, we can't make a new political party and have it get anywhere. It's a lot harder now than I think it was, but it's what is your 4-digit Discord tag? I have no clue what it is. If you find me in one of the Discord channels, are you in like Ben Pie or Drunken Peasants or something, you should be able to find me there. I have no clue even how to find that. Let's see. I'll bring it up over here. Let's see. We're going to find... I don't even know where to look for this. We're looking up a Discord tag. Oh, here. I think this is it. User settings. I don't see it right now. I'll have to do some looking. I don't know the actual numbers. I'm doing a quick look here. It's harder to look when I'm on live. I'll do the look. But if you could find me in any of those groups, I'm in most of the groups out there. And I think I'm under YouTuber on most of them. I don't know if there's any. I saw I was a YouTuber on Ben Pies, so I guess maybe I should at some point reach out to mods in those and be like, hey, I should have the YouTuber tag. Let me see. I'll let you know if the game works with one. And the political parties have switched back and forth ideology. Yeah, that's the thing. I was listening to somebody talk. I forget who it was. I feel like it was on the Joe Rogan show because I listen to that like everybody does because, you know, everybody hates him for being a centrist. But he was basically whoever he was interviewing was talking about how like the political parties have completely swapped on issues like climate change. I guess in the 60s, which I wasn't around to know it, but I'll take people's word who was around then. They said it used to be more of a Republican issue. And the Democrats would come in and argue against climate change and all that. They weren't for it because they thought it was only rich people looking out to make their backyards look nicer. So they didn't care about the environment as much as they do now. So now it's like flip-flopped. I mean, we've seen it flip-flop. A perfect example, and we've seen it in just a few short years, is Russia. I mean, think about it. And I laughed at this, too, at the time when Mitt Romney was running, like, Russia was the big problem, and Obama, he has that famous quote where he's like, the 1960s called, they wanted their policy back, or whatever year he said. And, yeah, and now just look at where we are. I think even towards the end of Obama's term, he was calling Russia out for shit. And it's just funny how they've now, like, completely swapped. Though I guess the Republican Party isn't too much defending Russia. They're still going on the offensive against them. They're kind of they've become the scapegoat for a lot of things, I think. But yeah, boo Democrats, boo. All right, we got another story here. Let's move on to that one. Because I'm kind of done with them. Let's go. We're going. Okay, I want to talk about Sea of Thieves for a bit because I haven't talked about this. I don't think at all. But as you guys know, I've played a couple of video games on here. I call myself a gamer. So I feel like Sea of Thieves is kind of like the last straw for video gamers, or at least I hope it is. I always say that with tons of games, but I think more and more gamers are kind of waking up to the whole don't pre-order games. It's a terrible idea. I heard a lot of people talking about this game. I think my brother even told me about it because he was thinking of getting it because there was so much hype behind the game. What up, Alicia Adachi? I just have to say, I'm taking a pause. I like saying Alicia's name. Alicia Adachi. That's like a great name. I like it. Anyway, back to the story because I got distracted. I like fun names. Sea of Thieves is that example of a game where it got so much hype behind it because it's a great concept. I haven't played the game, but I looked into it enough because I look into my games before I buy them, and you could just tell it's not a great game. It has nothing going for it. It looks nice and it has an interesting concept because who doesn't want to be a pirate and go around and steal shit from other people's ships? But from every review I've seen, after about 4 to 5 hours, you're going to get bored of the game because there's nothing there. It's like all you fight is skeletons, and it's the same skeleton all the time. There's like very little progression in the game, and most of it's just cosmetic that you're kind of like, eh. The quests get boring and repetitive. It's just there's not much to this game. And for a $60 game that was very hyped, it's very sad to see how this is going down. Because it also makes the gaming industry just, I think, less successful overall. Because when you get tons of big releases that get overhyped and people pre-order it, they move on to other hobbies. At this point, I can say I think I've moved on to other hobbies. I don't buy a lot of new video games. I stick with the ones I've had. If I hear enough good things about one, I might eventually pick it up. But at this point, what little money I have to spend on hobbies does not go to video games. It's going to, right now, it's going to Dungeons and Dragons, which honestly, I just ran a pirate campaign. Probably way more fun than Sea of Thieves would have been. I don't know. Who here is gamers? Did anybody here even hear about this one? Because this was circulating. I don't know how many people here are gamers. Or what's your guys' opinion on the gamings? Tim Allen, pre-ordering is dumb. I agree. I have not pre-ordered. I'm trying to think if I've pre-ordered video games before. I almost pre-ordered Civ 6. I did not. I ended up getting it near release though, just to be kind of disappointed with that game. All of the money I make is going to a Nintendo Switch. I am, but I haven't bought a new one in a while either, says Alicia. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Though it's funny, so as you guys know, I was trying to do a Heroes stream yesterday after the DP one just to see if I could get it to work, and that lasted all but 4 minutes before OBS crashed. I looked up the issue, and apparently ever since Heroes did a patch, it's been having problems with OBS, and I did not find a way to easily fix it. I didn't have it crash after our stream for a bit, but the stream quality was still kind of shitty, which is weird because I have streamed on this channel. I think you can find it, Heroes of the Storm stream, and it was not that bad, and nothing on my computer tech-wise has changed. So I don't know what was up with that. But then I I uninstalled Heroes of the Storm because I got pissed at it. Apparently, if your internet's a little glitchy while you're in a draft, even for like half a second, you will get booted from a match. And the penalty for leaving a match during a draft is like 3 times as worse than leaving during the match. So you lose a ton of rank points just because of a bug in their matchmaking system. And then if you leave that way, they force you to play quick matches, which I despise. They force you to play a bunch of those before you can go back to the mode that I like to play. So at that point, I just said, fuck it, and I uninstalled the game. Because I then decided, you know what? I've been meaning to play StarCraft Remastered, so I'm going to go play that instead. And then I needed space because my computer's pretty full right now. And so I said, screw it. I'm going to uninstall Heroes to make the room. So very sad because I loved that game, but they're not giving it the attention it deserves right now, especially with fixing some of their systems that have been kind of buggy for a while. But that's the thing. It's, again, a quality thing. A lot of these games just, QA's kind of going to the side. This game had a lot of potential, I feel, because who would not want to play an open world pirate game? Like, if it had a good crafting system, a good leveling system with a lot of different things to do besides just sailing your ship around, killing skeletons, or raiding somebody's ship for stuff that you really don't need, this could be a really cool game. But as you can see, it's not, even the critics are not giving it good reviews. I've seen a few good reviews on other sites. Metacritic was definitely the lowest the critics have given it, but the user score ain't doing that well anywhere. Let's see. Tim Allen wants to get into Dungeons and Dragons. I know a lot of people who do. I saw somebody on my Facebook page the other day. They just posted they wanted to get into a group that was running online. I don't do online terribly much. I probably would if I didn't have as many people around the area to play with. I almost did try to start one online, but I just didn't know a lot of people. Probably should have, if I was in the same boat now, I definitely would have started one with people from my audience who would be interested. But if you have the opportunity to try out Dungeons and Dragons with a good group of people, I say go for it. You can have it with bad groups. I've had games with bad groups where the major problem I've usually found is the way the DM runs. As a DM, you kind of have to keep your players under control so you can keep the game moving along. And the 2 times I've had it where it went badly was there was too much table talk going on at the game where we wouldn't get very far each session. And I just did not care about the table talk at all. I don't even care about it when I'm with friends that I know. This was a group of people that I didn't really know so well, so I was just not interested. But even with people like I hang out with all the time, we're pretty good with table talk, though. Everybody's kind of into the game because we can talk so much together already. But that was my first problem. And then the second problem I had was when you get problematic players, they can be definitely a nuisance. When I've been a player in games, we've had problematic players who are just kind of there to either screw the game world up or just to cause chaos. And it takes the fun out of it for me. And the DM didn't do a very good job of handling that. So I'm pretty good at handling that myself now when I see it in my games, which doesn't happen too often. But yeah, and also that DM constantly canceled sessions without telling anybody, and I had to walk to the sessions because this is when I was on college, where I was living off campus, but I had to walk to the campus to play. So I'd walk a good 20 minutes to get to the game just to find out he either didn't show up, or when he was there, he decided he didn't want to run that night. So it was like, so eventually I just stopped showing up. So I am somebody who's very picky about making it to D&D sessions, at least for myself. When we were running like every week, I liked to know when my players could and couldn't make it. And it did annoy me a bit when they couldn't make it like last minute, especially if it was frequent enough. But let's see, what do we got here? I missed a couple things. Let's see. You said I would love to play D&D. I tried it once when I was 15. I'd like to try again. Yeah, that was kind of what happened to me. I played it in like high school for a summer. Really fun. But of course, during the school year, it was difficult to get people together, especially because at that age, you had to get everybody together with their parents driving and shit. Because I live in an area where nobody can really walk anywhere, even though I've walked places. But yeah, D&D, I got back into it in college, and it's been really fun. It was funny because While I shit on my experience at college with that D&D group, it's what got me back into DMing and running my own groups. So it's been pretty fun. Which I think if Spectacular Glasses, you are still here. I did mention in a past stream, if you didn't catch it, I finished Curse of Strahd. So maybe I'll talk about that here in a bit, or in a future stream, and give you some tips on that, because I finished running it. Let's see. What up, Pagan? I see you there. Let's see. Vin Diesel was a D&D fan when he was young, and he still talks about it fondly. Yeah, like the stream. Listen to Alicia. And if you want, send in a Streamlabs and see me flip a desk. I haven't set a stream goal. I'll say $20. It's low, but I like to do reasonable ones. So my goal today is $20, and if you'd like to help, shoot in a Streamlabs. Every dollar helps. And if you are a poor fuck like me and you can't send in $1, that's okay. You can always steal $1 from somebody and then send it in. No. Don't do that. I don't want you to go to jail. Because then you can't leave a like. Leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and all that lovely shit. Tabletop RPGs are the best over the internet, in my opinion. It's easier for me to get into the proper headspace spacing out in front of my monitor. I like it in person a little more because I like the actual dice. I have one here because I needed it for something I was doing in D&D. I don't have the full setup here. I just grabbed the dice I needed. But I like rolling the physical dice. Now, as the DM, I roll the physical dice even when I do online sessions because I'd roll behind a screen anyway, so I don't really need to use the online system. So I use that. I like using miniatures. I've shown off my miniature collection on here before, which, oh my gosh, you guys have to see what I picked up if you haven't. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Hold on. I got to make sure all my Instagram posts are not risque. Not mine, what I follow. Here we go. Now we're on my page. Okay. Yeah, I picked up a Kraken. I now have a Kraken to throw at my players in D&D, and it is awesome. I saw this. I've been waiting for this to come out. It's like a case incentive with the new set that came out. It came with like a rowboat and all this shit too, which was cool. But I saw this at my local hobby store, and I was like, yeah, I need it. I need a Kraken. So I got a Kraken. And this thing's awesome. The water's really good looking. It's about this big. Yeah, about this height. It's a really good size mini, which it's really cool. I'm kind of sad. I finished my pirate campaign up where they got attacked by a Kraken. And I didn't have a mini then. So I also never surfaced like this. So it was just the tentacles they had to worry about. But I'm definitely going to have to use a Kraken at some point against the parties again in my games because this one is just so cool looking. Murphy, show us your DMs. I'll show you my DMs. Let's see. Yeah, this one's it was really nicely painted too. Most of the minis I get from the Wizards of the Coast are really nicely painted. Every once in a while, they're kind of eh. One was actually messed up in the face, but I just repainted it to look like one of my player characters that somebody was going to play in my next campaign. So I was like, there we go. Should watch the anti-D&D propaganda film Monsters and Mazes. I've seen a lot of anti-D&D propaganda from the past. I've had to deal with that when I was in high school and we tried to get friends to come over. We live in a very religious, I don't want to say religious. I think it's the majority of people in this area. There's a lot more Catholics than anything else over here, which I think is weird to a lot of people elsewhere in the country because they don't deal with a lot of Catholics. It's usually Protestants, but there's a lot of Catholics in the area. But there's also a lot, it's not the Catholics who have a problem with D&D. It's the other denomination. There's a famous denomination out there of Christianity that hates anything fun, like Harry Potter or all that shit. It's the one that hates magic. And there's a couple of those in the area. And so their parents would not let their kids come over and play D&D because they didn't want them to do satanic worship. And I always thought those parents were crazy. And I knew one of them a little bit, and indeed she was crazy. I was not surprised to find that out. I got that. Baptist, I think it was Baptist. Yeah, they're kind of nuts. See, that's why I'm probably so, at least I'm not anti-religion anymore. Like, I don't hate it. adamantly with a passion. I just think it's kind of dumb. But I hated it with a passion, I think, in college and like high school because of that bullshit. I was like, wait, you're telling me that this thing says you can't just come over and play this game because you're not allowed to practice Magic, a not real thing? I thought it was the stupidest shit ever. And like that adults actually believed that. And I was like a middle schooler that I felt smarter than adults. I thought was fucked up. I was like, what? I don't know if it's evangelicals. I don't know what it is. It's one of the... Yeah, I think it's West Baptist. It's West Baptist. That's what it was. Yeah, West Baptist. They're insane. And if you ever consider becoming religious in my chat, please don't become West Baptist. You're going to ruin your kids' fun if you have kids. Just let them... It's okay for them to play D&D. It actually builds friendships, and it makes them think creatively and do problem solving, which is all valuable skills in a workplace setting. Most of the denominations of Baptists are very hardline. Some of them still have the old school hymnal books. Yeah. I've talked a little bit about my church experiences before. The first time I went, of course, I did the daycare thing. For those of you who haven't heard the story, I went, they watched me in daycare, and the activity was we were learning about other religions, because this was like a Unitarian church, which I think is the stupidest idea ever, because all these groups are arguing with each other over what's right, and then here comes a group that says everybody's right, and I'm like, but everybody can't be right. I appreciate that they're trying to get people to get along, but it's just weird. But anyway, they had us learning about Judaism and Hanukkah, so I had to color the little menorah thing. And so, but I was not interested in coloring. I hated coloring as a kid, at least when I was told to do it. And I was into board games back then, at least early. I could tell because I saw the Game of Life on a shelf, and I wanted to play it. And so I picked it up off the shelf, went over to the person who was watching us, like, can we play this game? And she said, no, sit down and color your menorah. And I think that's why I've hated religion also ever since, because I was like, I just wanted to play a board game. And I held it against it because it did that. Magic in D&D amounts to an imaginary description. Yeah, exactly. And plus, you can play D&D without the magic if you really want. Just set it in any universe. I've been debating about what I want to do after I get kind of tired of the fantasy elements. If I want to do science fiction. I've debated about doing Avatar: The Last Airbender. That would be cool. But you could do it in I did a session where it was in the Eldritch Horror mythos. You could do it in like a 1920s style thing. You could take out all that shit too. You could make it a crime thriller where it's like, hey, you're a gang. Hey, maybe you're cops busting a gang. You can do anything. Actually, I'm okay with Buddhism. Buddha is an all right guy. I actually had the nickname Buddha when I was young because I had a Buddha belly because I was kind of fat, and then I lost my Buddha belly and now I have it back. You can even just straight up strip out the magic. Yeah, make it a historical fiction. That's the fun thing about role-playing games. And plus, I think the thing they got pissed off about was because, you know, you pick your deity or whatever in D&D that you worship. At least the earlier editions kind of placed an emphasis on that. Like there was always a section on your character sheet on what deity you worshipped. Even then, I did not care for that part. I don't think my group did not care about what deity we decided to worship. We just cared about at that time going places, killing things, and making bank. I agree. That's one of the things I do not like about current D&D, what Spectacular Glasses says. There's a little too much magic in current D&D. I get magic is cool, but I kind of appreciate when magic was a little more rare. And so I at first started in my world that I created. I had magic, was pretty fluent. It was similar to kind of the Warcraft universe. A lot of people have magic. Not everybody, but there were more magic users than I think the Forgotten Realms setting seems to have. So eventually, though, magic got threatened. I said arcane magic came through like this rift in the space-time continuum that can be found in my world, and somebody tried to close it. And it was then discovered there was like a being who was in there who sacrificed himself to bring magic to the world, but he was now dying because of this whole plot. And so one of my player characters switched spots with this guy, and now he became the god of magic. Because we were ending the campaign, I was like, he expected like a certain outcome for the campaign, and I didn't want to give him that. I wanted to do something though cool so he wouldn't be pissed, and that's what I came up with. I said, I'm gonna make you a god. But yeah, afterwards I said, you get to decide now, since you're resetting how magic works, how magic's gonna work in my world. And so he kept it. He made it now. Magic was a little more rare. So which I like. I don't like how like Ranger gets a bunch of magic spells. I want to play a Ranger that's just like a good archer, not somebody who has like a bunch of spells and stuff. But I get it. People like magic. At the end of all the campaigns, drive all the cars off the cliff. Yep, that's kind of how it sometimes goes for some groups. Yeah, the next campaign I'm running, though, is a giant campaign, so that's going to be fun. Here, I'll show you guys this, too. So the reason I was at my local hobby store is I started now on Thursdays. I now am doing wargaming. I found out that a group was still meeting there to play war games on Thursday nights, so I go now, and I'm going to join them. But it's fun. So they play mainly a game called Muskets and Tomahawks, which takes place French and Indian War era. And so it's kind of like a skirmish game. We don't do any historical battles, but it's basically a game that simulates a lot of little skirmishes that would have happened between like the French and the British during that time. You can also do it during the Revolutionary War, but we don't. And we don't. There's also one, I forget what it's called, the historical events where there's a lot of Indian fights with tribes and shit. I don't know what that war was called. I think it was right after the French and Indian War. If anybody knows it, though, you can tell me. But yeah, so we go there. They have a lot of gaming tables set up, which is cool. I have some like of my own terrain, but not nearly as nice as this. And I don't have enough minis yet to play a full faction, at least that are painted. And since everybody else has tons of painted minis, I usually play with theirs. But I had a few. These are mine. I just have to put grass on them. And then over here, you can't see them too well. Those are my French regular guys. But yeah, this battle was fun. We had to try to kill all the civilians that were hiding in this building while they were just trying to protect them. And there's a cool thing in this game where there's like side plots. And so the side plot for us was they captured one of our officers, and he was also in the building. We had to get him back. And our opponent's side plot was his officer was a coward, and he had to run off the table, off the one edge. And we managed to... The game's kind of like weighed by how many of the plots you can get. So if you get your main one, you get a victory. And if you get your side plot with that, it's considered a major victory and all that. And we got both of our plots. The other guy didn't get any, so we were pretty happy. But yeah, it's a really fun game. I like it. The troops, I just like the historical battles. I think I just like seeing everything kind of come together on the table as it does. It's just visually nice. And then after you're done, it's kind of like you kind of witness the historical event it feels, which is really cool. I have not played Warhammer. It's funny because Warhammer is like the one popular game at a lot of these places. But the group I play with, a lot of them do not like the Warhammer rule set. And since they know people who play the other games, they go to the other games. A lot of problems people have in the wargaming genre is it's kind of like D&D. Basically, if you're doing role-playing games, it's universally D&D. You have a very difficult time finding other people who are doing other systems at this point. Same thing with wargaming. It's basically Warhammer and not a lot of other ones. And even people who want to do other games, like they might hate Warhammer, they're kind of stuck in Warhammer because that's the popular one. So I like the historical stuff a little more. I've done French and Indian War. I like the rule set we do for this. It's really simple too compared to other ones. But I've done World War II. I have done I'd say Crusade era stuff. I don't know if it was part of the Crusades, but it was like that era, like swords and shit. But it's been fun. Let's see. You ever watched the 80s D&D cartoon? I have not. At some point, we should do a one-shot or something, maybe with people from the chat. I am planning. I wanted to do a Drunken Peasants themed D&D adventure. I'm primarily going to be looking into people who have either been on the show or community members or stuff like that, if I can get them. But I definitely could see doing a one-off with people in the chat. Maybe I'll make that a Patreon goal. War Machine is very popular. Oh, War Machine. Yeah, that's another one. I've seen a lot of minis for that game. That one. I like Dungeon World plus Mouse Guard best. I don't know that one. Yeah, Warhammer is a massive money sink. The thing is, like these minis, they're kind of. I mean, minis are gonna cost a lot. A set of these though is only like, I want to say these guys like right here I get like 20 of them and they were only 18. I feel like that's low, but I remember they were a lot cheaper than I thought. But yeah, if you get like the Warhammer ones or any of those big brand games, they charge a lot for their minis. Pagan is asking also when the Civ game is. We have to talk about that. Spectacular Glasses was asking, so we got to figure out when we want to do that. So far, I think I've got roughly 5. I think Pagan. Let me count this again. I got me. I got Pagan. My brother will totally join in. I think my girlfriend would join if we need another one. Otherwise, she's just gonna watch. Spectacular Glasses once. Yeah, that's our 5. We got to ask around to see who else more wants in on like a Saturday game. DP and D. I like that. That's what we could call it. I have not set up the Discord group. I got to get around to that. It probably, if I'm gonna have a Discord group, it's not gonna be set up for I think 2 weeks, because I'm gonna set up when my brother gets here. Ari says, glad I have something good to watch after work today. I am here to entertain. Everybody send Ari some love. She had a bad day yesterday, so send her hugs and kisses, but not too good of kisses, because then I'll get jealous. Yeah, I said, Pagan, we need to get 8 players. 8 players, I think, would be a good. I mean, even if we get more, I've never played a big game of Civ with a lot of people, but I feel that's more fun, because then you can actually. The thing with playing Civ against AI is you can't get all the political shit. I feel like you can in a game with people actually behind it, because then people scheme together, and all that stuff, which the AI won't really do with you well. And I like that idea. Ari does not like sushi, so be careful. But yeah, this game's really fun. So I'm excited to be doing that on Thursdays. I did not play Civ 4. I skipped over 4. I played a little bit of 3, but I didn't care for it. I kind of stuck with 2. That was the one I grew up with as a kid. I liked that one a lot more. Never played Civ 1. Civ 2 was like the one I played until I heard a lot of people played. See, that's the thing. Like I mentioned, I didn't pick up games a lot until they were kind of out there. Civ 5 was that type of game. I heard enough people were playing it in my community of gamers that I then picked it up and learned it. Can I claim Germany for the Civ 5 game? Yeah, I let you claim Germany. I don't play Germany. I think Pagan, you're going Celts you wanted. I haven't decided what I want to play. It depends on what I want to do. I always kind of want to play France. I don't know why. I just like Paris as a city. But I never want to play France because they kind of suck in Civ 5. They're not terrible, but everywhere I read when I look at guides is France is just kind of like an okay Civ. It doesn't really give you enough benefits to be worth anything, but it doesn't hinder you at all. We could do okay. So here's the thing: if we do random, I'd be okay with random in a way, but the thing is, I think we would have to allow if people got a faction they did not like and it sucked that we would re-random it, because I know in like professional play, if you get the Iroquois or Venice, you're automatically guaranteed a re-roll. It doesn't matter if the majority of people don't want it or not. It happens because those 2 factions suck. So if we do random, that rule I'm going to put in place just because I, for one, don't want to play either of those. Oh, we can't do anything else. You suck at everything else. See, I kind of feel the same way. I know a couple things about other factions. Though I told my brother if he plays, I'm banning him from playing any of the civs that are like benefit from science, because he will win the game. He is super good at rushing science as a civ. Unless you like declare war on him and mess with him long enough to like slow him down. Otherwise, he will like, boom. Oh, that's the other one I like. Spectacular Glasses. He wants Russia. I like Russia too. But yeah, we'll definitely try to set it up because I want to do a Civ game. So if you are watching this and interested, let me know. You can shoot me over Twitter. We'll be looking for people. I might try reaching out to Evan. I've been asking. I wanted to see if Evan wanted to do something. I know he's getting busy with his video game thing, so I don't know how likely that will be, but we'll look into that. Oh, I watched your stream yesterday, Pagan, on what was it, Channel Awesome and all that shit about the free exposure. I saw you were going hard at Galen. He was being kind of complainy in the chat. Korea is a really good civ. I like that civ. Sushi. The Aztecs are fine. I like the Inca. I had never played the Inca. They were kind of one I just tried out recently, one of my last playthroughs I did, and they were actually really fun. I liked them. Yeah, Babylon. My brother will play Babylon all the time, and yeah. I told Ben he's banned from that one and any other civ that he's good with the science, because, yeah, Babylon's OP. Basically, if you're going up against Babylon, everybody's got to really gang up on Babylon. But yeah, that would definitely be a fun stream. We also got to set up a rematch at some point, Pagan. I keep meaning to do another Twilight Struggle stream because I like that game a lot. Plus, it's fun for me to stream it. So, oh, I found out what my brother did wrong. He read one of the cards wrong. He forgot how it worked because it'd been a bit, and he didn't realize it lowered the DEFCON. So that's what happened in our last game where he accidentally caused DEFCON to go to 1. I can pretty much do a rematch whenever right now. I'm still pretty free. I could do it tomorrow. I could do it Wednesday. I'm trying to think. I can't do Thursdays. That's the only ones. Saturday's the tough day. Actually, I got to rule Saturdays out. At least it would be late. I guess you're West Coast, so maybe I could do Saturdays later in the evening. Not this Saturday because I think Ari gets to stay the whole weekend, so I don't want to do it then. But yeah, Saturdays is usually my D&D day. So I could probably do it in the later evening. Yeah, game night. I'm playing war games now on that night. It's fun. I like them. But yeah, we can definitely set up another one. Oh, Ari likes to watch that game, so I guess maybe I could. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll DM you after this. My mom is cool. I have considered streaming the D&D nights. The only thing is, my basement has the shittiest Wi-Fi ever, so I don't know how good the quality would be because that's where we play. I could try it though. I'd have to move a lot of shit down there. Because I've considered it. I think it would be a fun thing. Maybe I'll try, not this weekend, because I'm wrapping up a campaign this weekend, I'm pretty sure. But the following, we're going to be starting a new one. So maybe we'll try live streaming it. We'll see. It's going to be running through Storm King's Thunder. Even though I'm vastly changing it up, because I'm making it like episodic with a lot of side quests and character quests and all that stuff. Because I'm making it like, this is going to be a longer running campaign than I've usually done. Because I keep my campaigns, they've been like at least, I'd say on average 6 months running. Because usually I level them up pretty much every session. And it's usually just to kind of tell an overall story. Which this one is going to be 2. It's just I'm going to do more side stuff. More development with the same characters for a bit. Oh, so I saw, I don't know how many of you guys followed this drama since we were talking a little bit about the Channel Awesome shit. But I saw apparently there's like this whole controversy now behind Mundane Matt. I guess because he didn't take money to go on the Q-Mite. Is that what it is? I don't know what this whole blood sports thing is. I guess he didn't take the money that they offered him to go on one of these blood sports streams. So, of course, then the audience of the blood sports streams were all pissy about it. And so now he's like being called a hack and blah, blah, blah. And the only reason I know about this was because apparently he's still a thing. Bearing popped up in my feed. I've never subscribed. I know I subscribed to him for a bit, but I kind of unsubscribed when he did his whole don't vote pro, what was it, the gay, they were going to legalize gay marriage, and he had the stupidest argument for it ever, and then he clearly bitched out of going on DP to avoid talking about it. So I kind of was just like, oh, never mind. And so I haven't watched him since, but I saw that video popped up on my feed where he went after Mundane Matt. And I also remembered why I stopped watching Bearing, because his videos are just poorly edited. I did not care for it. I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible. I couldn't watch it. But I thought it was funny. I thought it was so funny that like he was going hardcore after Mundane Matt for not doing the blood sports. And then I guess he had a debate with Sargon of Akkad. And I tended to agree with Sargon, where he was just like, why does he have to go on blood sports? He can choose not to if he doesn't want to. I was like, yeah, that's it. Simple, done. Even if Mundane Matt is complained about blood sports or somebody who's on there or whatever, if he doesn't want to go on the blood sports shit, even if he's paid, why would he want to? Plus, I know for a fact, I was talking to Pimp Monk, when Mundane Matt would have gone on to the blood sports, he decided for free just to do Pimp Monk shit. So, of course, Pimp Monk was very happy about that. It's like, yeah, this guy, he's such a cool guy. He came on my channel for free because he thought he'd have more fun than to go on to a channel that he probably wouldn't have fun on and get paid. Yeah, it was the vote no thing. Bearing was the whole, like, I'm going to vote no because I'm worried about the freedom of speech stuff issue around voting yes, even though Australia did not have freedom of speech. It was basically worrying about another issue that was a non-issue at the time. Like, I get where he was coming from, but that wasn't the right way to kind of deal with that, by saying, yeah, we might have this problem, so let's just not give these people the right to marry, so we don't have that problem anyway. It's like, even if you don't give them the right, do you think the left's gonna like stop and go, ah, shit, we didn't legalize it, so no, they're still gonna do all this discrimination shit whether you voted yes or no. So I think he did end up changing his opinion, but at that point I was just like, well, he's kind of dumb, so I didn't really care to follow him more. Plus, when he showed his true colors on not going on DP, I was just like, avoiding, because everybody called him out. Even people who liked him or other YouTubers who were at least associated with him did not back him up on that one, because they knew it was like, you kind of sound insane. Like, the only people who liked that idea was like the crazy right that was like, yeah, don't vote it in, gotta stop the liberals. All right, Darker Elite, I shall see you on the next stream. But yeah, I am excited for wargaming. I gotta pick up some new wargaming minis at some point. I'm still obsessing. Ari can vouch. I want the ogre with the catapult. That's like at the top of my list for D&D. There's an ogre with a catapult, and I need it. So if you want to help me get an ogre with a catapult, feel free to donate in the Streamlabs below, and you can call me a sad bitch for wanting an ogre with a catapult. I'll make it worth your while, too, because I'll flip a desk. But also, if you guys have any other stories you want me to... Yeah, I'm still talking about that. I want the ogre, Ari. It's important. It looks cool. But yeah, if you guys want to... If you have any, like, last-minute stories you want me to cover, any subjects, otherwise, I have nothing more. I went through everything I prepped, so... I either head out, or maybe I'll play a video game. Who knows? Because I still have the stream energy. I just don't have anything going on that I want to talk about. Did I get anything on Twitter? Nope. Oh, okay. I got a notification. The Lore Reloaded is back. He just posted on YouTube. So You prep for these? I do. I do a little bit of prep where I show up and I plan some stories. I look for a couple stories right off the bat. But otherwise, I'm just like hanging out. It's just a chance to talk with the audience and say hello. Because I enjoy chatting with everybody. Why are you wearing a coat? You're inside. I was outside and it was cold, so I never took my coat off. Hey, look, I'm live. Has Logan Paul peaked? I will say I hate these videos from Monday Matt, though. Because I don't care about Logan Paul. He's kind of garbage. I also did watch, I don't watch a lot of TJ anymore, but I watched his video on his experience with Channel Awesome. Just to see. Because I saw, somebody told me that like 12 people left Channel Awesome. After all this drama broke, which I'm like, I don't blame them. Like, I complained about that whole petition. I said a lot of this was unwarranted. A lot of it just seemed like they wanted a professional environment all the time, even though they wanted it more, treat it more like an amateur one, where they got a lot more say than they usually would have. But there was still enough there that I was like, hey, there's still some like shit going on here that's kind of like, eh. So I'm not surprised to see more people leave that. All right, so let me make my list here real quick. What I gotta do for all these streams. So we gotta get the Civ 5 stream going. We gotta figure out who's all gonna be in on that. I so far got a potential of 5. Most likely that's gonna be on a Saturday, just for people who are here that are interested in it. I think actually for sure it's gonna be a Saturday, just because people are off usually on weekends and shit. So it will be a Saturday that way, because Civ games, they take a bit. So we'll do that. I'll send some messages out to people. I think that's the only stream thing I gotta do, other than potentially a Twilight Struggle stream with Pagan. Okay. Oh, great. I actually am seeing the morning Q-Mite on my feed. I don't know why I get them constantly. I never watch them, but YouTube wants to force them on me. If it is on the weekend, hey, but I need to use your computer for the game because mine should be. Yeah, luckily I have 2. I can run a Civ game on my laptop as well. So. Oh wait, hold on. Civ 5 got messed up with Mac. I think it's still fine on the crap top. I'll have to see. It might still work on Ben's though. He has PC. What's required for the Civ game? I don't know if we're going to require expansions. I know all of us have it here. I don't know if Pagan has the expansions. Because I think the expansions make the game a lot better, so I always like to have them for people. All expansions. Okay, so I am going to say I think we're going to have a requirement for all the expansions because I do kind of hate the game without it in some ways. Because I remember when I used to have to play it with Jupiter Force, Only a few of us had the expansions, and it was really annoying because I had bought the expansions to join some people, but then more people got into the game, but they didn't have the expansions, so then I never got to use them. I kind of agree with Spectacular Glass. It's like there's some things I like in Vanilla Civ a little more than they change later on, but other things, like, for the most part, the game's vastly improved with all the changes. So yeah, if you're interested, hit me up. I think we're gonna look for 3 more, but 8's definitely not our cap. We'll go higher because I don't even know what that max number of players is, but the more the merrier at this point. So if you're interested and you have the expansions, you can hit me up on Twitter, Admiral_Murphy. I would say I'm going to shoot for maybe 3 weekends from now for the Civ game, just so we can have a thing out there right now. That's like the earliest I think I could fit it in right now. So that's what I'll tentatively throw out there. I don't know if that works for you, Pagan. Three Saturdays from now. That gives enough time for people to plan. What is that? 3 Saturdays. That would be the 28th, the last Saturday of April, right? Because, yeah, that would be D&D. I'm starting a game that week, I'm pretty sure. So then, yeah, the 28th. Let me know. Works for Spectacular Glasses. Okay, cool. Damn, that means I gotta plan what I gotta play. What faction am I gonna play? I could play China. I could play Rome. Rome's fun. Though I've already kind of spoiled what I did with Rome with Pagan. He might have forgot, but I'm just gonna say it anyway, because why not? My games were always, everybody was peaceful and left everybody alone. So then one game I just decided to be a dick and I went Rome. And I just early rushed everybody with Legionnaires and just won. Well, I didn't win. I won my continent, but somebody else was Britain. And like a bastard, they got their own little island off of the main continent everybody else was on. And by the time I could get to him, he had all the ships to protect himself. So, I did not conquer the world that game. But Rome was fun. I liked Rome. I also always liked the idea of, like, if Rome never fell and we had like a modern Rome. One of the ideas I had for like a science fiction story, I was writing something where it was like Rome, but the 1920s. So everybody was like dressed up and shit. Like, you know, and the fedoras and suits, but it was like Romans and shit. I don't know. Something about that I just liked as an idea. Oh, so I'll show you guys where I went for food today. How about that? So there's this place, Everyday Noodles. Yeah, here we go. I went here today before I came on the live stream to get some noodles. Yeah, here it is. It's in the city. Very good noodle place. I've been trying to find something called Dan Dan noodles. This is it, but I get it with a thinner noodle. It's a really good noodle dish that can be spicy. It wasn't too spicy today, but I've gotten it where it's really spicy and it's good. Good dish. And this place is cool because it's probably the most authentic Chinese food I've been able to get in the area. But it's cool because, like, you go there and they actually prepare the noodles there while you're there. You can see through the window. I actually sat. I could point to the table. I sat at that table today. I'm trying to see if there's a good picture of the... Yeah, here's some noodle prepping. But yeah, it's basically a noodle place, but they have other stuff. So I went there today, got some noodles. It was good. Then I got my hair cut. You can see I got it cut. Fari didn't notice. I got it cut, so now she's going to kill me. Yeah, it's the weird egg place. It is literally, though, they have an egg in the dish. I don't know if you can see it here. Already got sketched out by the egg because it's brown egg, because they dip it in the broth and it makes it brown. But it is literally just a hard-boiled egg. But I hate hard-boiled eggs, so I guess I won't complain because I would not eat it. But yeah, this place is cool. Yeah, there's the egg. Ari did not like that egg. I actually got this too. We had this as a side. It's like a little bit of beef on top of some rice. Very good. But yeah, great noodles. Love this place. If you're ever in Pittsburgh, check it out. It's awesome. I love it. I know eggs aren't brown, but there are a ton of Chinese places around here to eat. Like, we don't eat at many places because it was hard to get our family to ever agree on a place to go eat. But the one place we would go is Chinese food. So I'm kind of used to having Chinese food all the time. So it's hard for me to go a week without it. And it's always weird because when I go on vacation, we usually don't eat at Chinese food places. Because most of our vacations actually have been just to my grandparents' house, and they hate Chinese food. I think the only vacation I've been on where I actually went and got Chinese food on it was when I went to Seattle. They had some good Chinese places there. There was this one place when I went to Seattle. I want to go back because I know people there, so it's fun to visit them. But what was this place called? Let's see if I can just look it up. Seattle. It was a retro diner. Let's see if I can see. I'll recognize it immediately. Oh, I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So, what is this called? No, it's in the city. That's not it. Planet Java, that's it. Okay. So, I've mentioned Jupiter Broadcasting in the past. Oh, the microphone, stay up. Stupid thing. But I've mentioned Jupiter Broadcasting in the past. If you guys don't subscribe to them and you like Linux, you can go check it out. I don't like Linux, but I've subscribed to them because they do a political podcast called Unfilter. So if you like politics or at least like following it, check them out because they do a good show. But yeah, so I used to podcast with this guy, and so I went out there to visit him. What was this? Planet Java Diner? Come on, not JPEG. No, not Java. Planet Java. I want to bring up some pictures of this place because this place was cool. So yeah, I met somebody. Her name's Angela. She used to be married to Chris, who does Jupiter Broadcasting. But her parents own this place, and it is cool looking. It's got like a lot of retro stuff going on. There's like rocket ships everywhere. This place was probably the coolest place I ate while at Seattle. And it was even better because like I knew I didn't know the people who owned it, but I knew like the daughter of them. And so that was really cool. But yeah, we ate there. They had great food. It was super awesome. So if you get to check this place out, Planet Java Diner. Then there was like this cookie place like right down the street, not too far away. That was really good. They had like cookies this big. They were awesome. And it was cool because most of the time I wasn't actually in Seattle most of the time for that vacation. It was kind of north about an hour. I did a whale watch tour. That was cool. There's this restaurant on the docks in Seattle, floating out, connected by. That's cool. I like unique food places. In fact, you know what? Let's do that. I want to talk about unique food places because that was going to be a subject for a stream I wanted to do at some point. But I'm just going to do it now since we're on the subject. We're going to talk about cool food places now. So let me know your guys' favorite food places. And cool ones that you've been to. And I'll tell you about a couple of mine. So yeah, that was one I went to. There's a couple of like, I don't know if they're tours. But they have like some boats you can rent here. Like not boats. They're actually ships. What are they called? But I remember going on them and that was fun. We did it for like 8th grade field trip. It was like before we went to high school. They did this field trip for 8th grade. We went on the boat and had a good time. It was fun. They had good food. It was a Gateway Clipper. That's what it's called. Yeah, here we go. You can get these boats. A lot of people will rent them for parties and stuff. But that was actually a cool thing to do in Pittsburgh. So it's definitely something. There's not a lot of touristy things that are actually cool that I feel like you can do if you come here. I feel it's kind of boring. The only thing we've done is, and most people who know about Pittsburgh know about it, it's those trains that go up and down the hill. That's like our selling point for the city. It's the boringest thing you can do. I've had to do it so many times because people want to do it when they visit. And it's just like, no, it's terrible. It's just literally you going up a hill and then down a hill, and you paid way too much to do it because now it's a touristy thing, so people want to do it. There was this place though in Reading. I don't know if I can find a picture of it. I don't think it's open. Let's see if I can find it. It was like a train. Let's see, Reading ice cream trains overhead. Let's see if anybody has a picture. There was this cool place you could go to get ice cream, and it had like model trains overhead as you ate, and it was really cool. These are just actual trains. Reading model trains. Let's see if I can just, if I look it up, it's just model trains, not actual things. Fuck. Okay, I don't have a picture of it. Maybe I can find a picture at some point, because we probably took one. But it was cool. You went there for ice cream. The counter was at the center. It was like a round counter. And at the above the counter was like just this round train track. And the train was going around during the whole time. And it was just cool. Oh, yeah. Ari, what's that place that we ate at? What's that place called that's by the lake? That was cool. That had great food. I want to show that off. But yeah, there was this cool place we ate when I visited Ari. Yeah, the Big Catch. Let's see if I can find that. So her family has a lake house. Let's try New Hampshire. Here's the menus. But yeah, they had great food. You can kind of see it here. They're small pictures. Wow, these are small. Come on, guys. I know businesses are kind of behind at points, but take some bigger pictures. Okay, here's a little better one. But yeah, it's like the lake's right off to the right here. You could literally take a kayak up to this place, and it's cool. It had great food. I think we ate there probably like once every day. It was either we got ice cream or we got some really good just like appetizer-y food. Yeah, that place was good. This is the type of stuff I like eating when I go on vacation to places. So this was like up there on the list for me. I don't know if I had fish at this place. I do like fish. But yeah, the food there was amazing. I'm trying to think of other cool food places. The only place I've been where the food has been kind of was Vegas. Vegas just did not impress me with their food, which I don't know why. And maybe that's because I went for the Star Trek convention, so I didn't really leave the hotel that the convention was taking place at. So maybe that might have something to do with it. I left once. We went across the street to a hotel, another hotel that had food because it was cheaper than ours. So I met my family, went over there for like pizza or whatever, but I ended up not having food with them the rest of the trip because they were all fighty and bitchy and shit. And I was like, see, I'm meeting people who are online. So I just went and hung out with the people online. And we got dinner there. We ate a lot at, because the food is pricey when you go to Vegas. So we ate a lot at this like cafe that was right outside the convention center. And then the last day, both years, I think, we ate at this Chinese place. Here's the other thing too, because I love Chinese food. Vegas, they fuck up their Chinese food. This place had nothing that's usually on the menus over here that I like. The closest thing they got was Kung Pao chicken. Luckily, that was like the first time I tried Kung Pao chicken. It was good. Definitely didn't compare though to like sesame chicken or General Tso's or any. There's like so many other chickens here that I enjoy that they just didn't have at this place. If you get Mexican food, get it at Texas. Yeah, I don't do Mexican food because I've gotten sick from it when I have gotten it. Though I have, me and Ari have an agreement that I will try Mexican food at a place that she thinks is really good, and then she'll try some Japanese food at a Japanese place that I think's really good. Yeah, the Szechuan chicken's pretty good. I had to do a report for like a multicultural class I took. Not like when I say that, this is an SJW thing. This is like a public school one where they just taught you about other cultures that you might not have learned about. So don't get it in your head that they were like doing all this other shit because it is good to learn about other cultures. Um, so it was an SJW experience. I actually liked this class because it's interesting to learn about other cultures. That part isn't bad. But yeah, so I had to do research then on I got to pick any subject as long as it was like some other culture that we learned something about. And so I picked Chinese food and actually researched because everybody knows if you love Chinese food in America, it's an Americanized version. They have vastly different food over there. So I did the research on what the food's like over there, and it's either let me look it up. It's either Szechuan is the one we're more familiar with, or it's another one. Chinese food types. Here we go. We're going to go to here. Wikipedia will tell me. What are the types? The types. It's by regional, I'm pretty sure. Okay, here we go. Sichuan is, I think, the one we're more commonly familiar with over here. Though there's a Chinese place near me that does another one of these. Which one was it? Come on, come back. I just saw it. Is this the actual? Yeah, it was Chinese. I think it was not Cantonese. Maybe it was Cantonese. I remember starting with a C, but it wasn't Cantonese. I don't remember. But yeah, I love Chinese food. Chinese food is probably my favorite thing to eat. But Vegas was the more disappointing of all of them. The ones I like, I'm trying to think. There's this place I went to in Colorado. They had good pizza where you get to like pick everything about the pizza: crust, sauce, cheese, toppings, everything you get to custom make, and it's really cool. I like that. New York also has some really cool places to eat too. I've mentioned it a lot on the streams before. Katz's Deli was my favorite place to eat at. I'll bring up a picture here. Katz's Deli. Yeah, here we go. This place is awesome. You can already see jam-packed because this place is popular. But we went here for a class field trip. And it's so weird because, like, that's what it looks like on the outside. But inside, like, there's a bunch of different lines that you get in to get your food. It's kind of confusing at first, but I think once you get it, you're like, oh, I get it. But cool place. It's really cool to look at. Yeah, there's like some movie. I don't know it because I'm young, so I didn't care about the movie because it was old. But there's some movie that was shot here, so they have a sign that tells you that was the table they were at, whatever movie it was. Yeah, cool place. If you ever go to New York, definitely a cool place to check out and eat. I've had good food at New York too. The thing I like about New York food is like the carts and shit. I don't know. I'm a type of person who likes to go up to food carts and eat from them. Like whether it's the little stands or if there's I prefer like the actual big ass food trucks. Those are the cool ones. They don't have enough of them around here. They have them in the city, but anytime I'm in the city, we're never really eating at the food trucks. I got to try to do that at some point. Oh yeah, that wasn't really a restaurant, but that was a cool one. Yeah, so I think most people are probably familiar with it or have been to one here. Um, like those movie theaters where you go and it's actually like a food place. The one we went to, I went with Ari. It was like a food place. There was like it had its like typical theater seats, like a few of them at least. But then there was like the whole ground floor with big tables, and you just grabbed a table and they came and served you during the movie. So we went and I saw Star Trek Beyond for the second showing there. Um, but I think everybody else who went when I went to that one, they went and saw it again, or they it was their first time seeing it. But it was just cool because the food was great. I got wings. I want to say I either got wings or I wanted to and I just didn't get them because I thought they'd be messy. But I got that. I got a milkshake. Milkshake was good. All right, I'll see you. Spectacular Glasses. Good to see you. Um, but yeah, I went and saw Star Trek Beyond there. It was really fun. I think I'd go to the theaters more if there was like stuff like that here. And it was like reasonably priced. I felt like I paid for a normal movie ticket and then for a normal meal. I didn't feel like I was overcharged for anything. That's why I kind of stopped going to movie theaters now because they just charge way too much for the food there. And that's really all why I go because as I said, I hate most movies that come out. They're just kind of boring. I'd rather watch a TV show because I find them more entertaining. Um, the only reason I typically had gone to movie theaters was because the food was so good. But it's getting to the point where I just am like, I don't really want to pay for the food there. It's just so pricey. There was this cool diner we went to in in Reading when I lived there really young because that's where I was born originally. Um, and it was called Dairyland, I think. It's not open anymore because I tried to go back there once. Um, but it was cool. They had like great sandwiches, but it was like an ice cream place too. They had so many flavors of ice cream, which I thought was like now looking at it, I don't think I've been to a diner that had that many flavors of ice cream. It was really good. And the weird thing is though, this was back when like you could smoke in most restaurants and it wasn't a problem. Like they didn't have to even separate them. So this diner, it was kind of annoying because I have asthma and it gets really bad. It did more back then around cigarette smoke. So it was annoying to go to restaurants and have to deal with it, especially when you are somebody who has asthma. Um, it's now at the point where since everything here now, it's like no smoking in restaurants. The only place you can smoke at is bars that what is it? There's some rule that if you serve so much in food, then you have to have like designated smoking areas or something like that. Something to do with food at bars. There's some rule that then permits you to have smoking at the bar. Otherwise, you can't. And so I don't think I've been to places that have smoking in the restaurant. 'Cause at this point, I kind of want to avoid it. Less than 50% profit from food. I guess I'll show this off. The one place I like by college, I talk about sometimes, Ginger Hill Tavern. That place, for as much as I hated the food up by my college, this place was pretty good. Trying to see. I never went when there were like tons of people. Like you can kind of see from the college crowd. I never went then, but I went when like it was quieter and I could just get drinks and shit. But yeah, it was good. I like this place. Good drinks, good food. I'm trying to find a place that's similar here. I haven't found one really yet. Yeah, it's less than 50 from food, then you can smoke inside. Yeah, when we first moved here, I know in Delaware when I lived there, um, I lived there for 2 years, and they were already no smoking in restaurants. So I got used to that, and then we moved to Pittsburgh where they didn't have that rule for like the first 2 years I'd lived there or here because I'm still here. But yeah, the first 2 years I was here in Pittsburgh, I had to get used to again. People were allowed to smoke in restaurants, And while they were allowed, some of them had like smoking areas, but you know, it migrates, it moves, it takes a little migration toward other places in the restaurant, and so it was annoying to deal with that. Actually, that Denny's we drove by yesterday, Ari, that was terrible because they didn't have a smoking or non-smoking area, and so you would ask. And if you were like, yeah, we would like a non-smoking seat. We don't want to be near anybody who smokes. So we got our seat. And then the same person who sat us, who we just told we didn't want to sit next to anybody who was smoking, she took the next couple that came in, sat them next to us, and they then proceeded to smoke. And I think that was like the one time my mom didn't tip. She got actually like really pissed off about it. Which, I mean, yeah, I don't blame her. If you tell a waitress, hi, we don't want to sit next to somebody who's smoking at a table, and then they proceed to sit people next to you who do that, don't expect a tip. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to head off. It feels at this point we've hit the end of the momentum, the stream momentum. So I want to thank everybody who had showed up and who is still around hanging out. And I will catch you guys on the next stream. Be sure to hit the like button again. That's the least, if you want to help the channel, that's like the best thing you can do if you can't do anything monetarily. But if you want to become a patron, you can do so. I will start to consider what I want to put on there. I want to make new goals for sure. I'm definitely going to make new perks. I'm considering maybe like I know some people do vlogs. I don't know how interested people would be in vlogs. But maybe I could do videos where if I go to places, I'll do something for patrons. Because I want to offer you guys something extra. So if you're somebody who would be interested in becoming a patron, you can shoot me an idea. And I will consider it as I redo it. Maybe I'll redo it here later in the week. I got to figure out when I want to do it. I got a lot on my plate this week that I got to get done. So I shall catch all you people on the next stream. Thanks for watching, and I will probably see some of you, I think, DPs tonight, so I'll catch you guys for that. So, later.